Welcome back, and as promised, we are back with a session, part 3 with printed media. And printed media is anything that is on paper. When we have the newspaper, and whether we have a bulletin or a magazine, anything that is printed on the magazine, on paper, that we call the print media. And yes, we can touch it, we can see, especially if it's colorful, then only it becomes creative, but it can also fade. Especially today's news is old news. So if in an old newspaper, it's either going to line the cupboards or the dark kennel, or it's going to go into the library where it's going to go into archives. But it is not such a medium that is held for a long time, because it can also fade. Right, so the cost involved here depends on which magazine you are printing. If you're going to go Bell and L, those are very expensive magazines, but the local news magazines, small size, will also depend. Color will depend. The type of paper that you use will depend on your print media as well. So those are the type of limitations. Frequency, does it come out weekly, does it come out monthly, or is it a 2-yearly publication, etc. Lead time, how far or how near to the issuing date can you release the information? Because you are going to write about a story that happened today, but when it reaches the audience, is it going to be still current news, or going to be new news or old news? Literacy, language barriers. Sometimes you want to portray a message or information, but can you say it so that the reader can understand? And you listen well. I'm not saying the listener can understand, that the reader can understand. Are you reaching that person in the targeted segment that you want to, with the language that they do understand? Like I said, it's a daily newspaper. Is it the national newspaper in the country, or is it an international tabloid, or is it just a community newspaper like the Go newspaper that is circulating here in East London? Type of ads, is it a display ad, is it a classified ad? If you look at your newspaper, what do you see? Is it business related information, classified? Is it an ad of a business, etc.? Newspapers have, yes, extensive reach, because it's circulated within the area that it is published. It's flexible because you can put in the articles that you pay for in there. Reader involvement and acceptance, definitely not, because you, as the article or the journalist that wrote the article, don't see how the reader is doing or the emotions attached to the article. Good readership data depends on how many issues that you have sold. Disadvantages, it can't be reproduced. I'm sure you've seen retractions already in the newspapers, where people have said something and now the information is no longer current or correct, so they need to retract that statement or that information. It's got a very short lifespan, so when the issue is out, is it still current or was it old news? And like I said, the literacy problems is a very biggie when you use the specific medium. Readership data, the circulation, obviously, where do you get how many people are reading your newspaper? The readership and the circulation statistics will give an indication as to your readership. Outdoor, I've alluded to it earlier on, where you have your billboards, you've got the transit advertisements, you've got posters, you've got banners, you've got wall paintings, aerials, etc. Sandwich, where there's different information put into a block. The pop-ups in the store, and then what you can can realize here, or what you can take into consideration here, is when you pass a billboard or when you stand in the banking queue, there are so many posters around. When you go to a stadium where you go watch a cricket match or a soccer match, or for that matter sporting event, there on the fencing there are advertisement. Those are all your outdoor media that you could use to your disposal. If you are trying to put a positive spin on a business, get involved, get that business out in the public so that they can see how they are responsible to the community in a social, corporate social sphere. So that was an advertisement of adhesive, glue, and it also sticks handles to teapots. Can you imagine if you can stick a car to a billboard? That's how strong that it is. It brings a message across. Or it can be like that, very visual on that billboard, the sunflower. I want to just change into another slide, but I want you to look at the different activities at the end of the specific section so that you do not fall behind onto the due date of your assignments or your class tests or the class exercises. Thank you very much. We will summarize in part 4.